Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Just going to wait a couple of minutes just to make sure that everyone can log on properly. I can see the numbers going up, so that's fantastic. Just wait for them to level out and then I will start. So it's raining. Well, the sun's just come out now, but it's been raining all morning. Funny week, but I hope you've all had a fantastic week. They're still going up, so can everyone hear me? Okay. Well, the sun's coming out now, that's nice. Let's have a look. Perfect. Great. So what I will do is I'll turn off all my questions. If there are any questions, I'll turn them off until I've finished, and then I'll go back at the end and I'll check them all, and then I can hopefully answer any questions that I haven't answered already. So just wait till the end, and then if I haven't covered anything, then you're obviously more than welcome to ask me some questions. Just wait a couple more minutes. Still going up, so this is always the awkward bit because you want to get started, people are waiting, but I don't want anybody to miss anything. So perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to start sharing my screen with you all. Okay, perfect. Oh, what's happened there? Okay, so let's get started then. So good morning, everybody. My name, for those of you that don't know me, is Bettina Biazzo, and it's my great pleasure to share with you this morning some tips that I have been using to increase my recruitment since March. So I have got some notes on me, so if I do look around, I'm just going to make sure that I've covered everything, because I do have a tendency to go off sometimes on a tangent and get completely engrossed in it all. So that's why I've got my notes. So if I do look down, that's the reason why. So for those of you that don't know me, I was cabin crew for 19 years and I absolutely loved what I did. Got to travel the world, meet new people. It was my ideal job. And then when I met my husband and we had our two little boys, I was looking for change. Well, I wasn't looking, I was desperate for change. I was desperate to find something that I could do alongside something from home that I could do alongside looking after my little boys, but I didn't want to miss any of their milestones. And at that time when I was flying, I was working weekends, Christmases. I actually got called out one Christmas, which was horrendous. And I was looking for something that I could do around my children, still travel, put my people skills, because I love to talk to people. I love to, speak to people and engage with people in that way. So I was looking for something, but I did not have a clue, 19 years of flying. Good fortune came my way 4.5 years ago when I was introduced to Forever through the Clean 9. And it was just after Christmas. You know what it's like, you're bloated, you've overindulged. And my friend said to me, try this cleanse program. So I persuaded my husband to do it, and I persuaded 2 of my friends to do it before I'd even done it myself. So I was actually already recommending the business, the products. And we did the Clean 9, and the results that we all got were absolutely phenomenal. And at that point, I actually just joined to get a lifetime discount of 35%. I had no real intention at that time to build a business, because I didn't really know what was involved and what it was about. But 5 weeks into joining Forever, I was literally what you call ignorance on fire. Everybody was asking me, what are you doing? Your skin is glowing, you've got loads of energy. And I was like, these products are incredible. And in 5 weeks, I hit my first promotion. 4.5 years on now, I've just obviously been promoted as senior manager. I'm Eagle manager qualified, level 1 car plan, and 2 of these promotions have happened in lockdown. So I want to go through with you in a second what I have done in lockdown and how I have really nearly tripled my business. So for those of you that don't know, I used to fly with Monarch, and that obviously went into administration 2.5 years ago. And thank goodness I had my forever business to fall back on, as it were, and actually go for it full steam ahead. So obviously with everything that's happening at the moment, you know, the airline industry, big companies, you know, with what's happening in the world, there's not a better time to start sharing this business if you haven't already been doing so. So what I'm going to do with you now is literally just share with you the tools that I have used. Well, these are the tools that I've always used, but what I have done specifically since March, recruitment and daily activity. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I've got 2 little boys, 7 and 5, and homeschooling, I'm not going to lie to all of you, has been very, very challenging and tricky at times. So it is fundamentally more than any time now to be more organized and to know what I was doing in that 4-month period, you know, March till now, to make sure that my business was growing. So the first thing I did, and I always tell this to all my team as well, and it's not something you won't have heard before, is your who do you know list. That is your database. Every company, every business has a database, and everybody needs their who do you know list. And I won't actually work with any of my team until they have a who do you know list. I'm very, very passionate about that, because otherwise we've got no document to work from. We've got nothing to work from. So I'd probably say every 6 months I update my who do you know list. I mean, I'm constantly updating it because I'm out meeting, well, normally I'm out meeting new people. So obviously before lockdown, everybody knows I'm a people person. You know, I'd go and do events, I'd go and do aloe bars, I'd be at the gym meeting new people, I'd be with school mums, I'd be out and about day in, day out, I'd be at pamper events, I'd be, you know, everywhere that you could think of. And that is how primarily I would build my network before lockdown. So I had to come up with a game plan, well, not a game plan, but I had to come up with a new way of how I could build my business in these troubled times, and almost not take advantage, but use what I had to build on. So I updated my who do you know list, which I do every 6 months. So I printed off my who do you know list. So first thing I would always recommend is print off your who do you know list. Actually have it, you know, if your main social media is Facebook, print it off. And obviously I've got other people that I add onto my who do you know list from Instagram, my phone book and things like that. Obviously people that aren't on Facebook. That's the first thing. The next thing, and I'm very, very passionate about the 7-day plan as well. We are all busy. We are all have commitments, whether we're working, whether we have children, whether we go to the gym, whether we have clubs, whatever it may be. A 7-day plan is absolutely fundamental. This gives you structure for your week. And, you know, when we're busy, it's so easy just to get your 7-day plan out if you've done it properly, and know who you're going to be messaging, know who you're going to be following up with, know what retail activity that you're going to be doing. How many one-to-ones have you got booked? What training events are you going to be watching or, you know, tuning into or catching up with? And this, alongside my diary, works hand in hand. So normally when I would be on a school run, for example, I have to leave half an hour earlier to pick up my boys, otherwise I don't get a parking space. So that 7-day plan with me comes with me everywhere I go. And what I do is, because I know who I'm going to message, I can get that 7-day plan out, I can get my phone, and I can sit in the car for 20 minutes and I can actually send out 10 messages easily, very, very easily. And then in the course of the evening, I will reply. Obviously, during lockdown, we haven't been able to, you know, I've not been on the school run. So what I've done, no different, I write down how many people that I'm messaging. So I message minimum of 10 people. And I'm going to explain to you how it increases during the day. So I message a minimum of 10 people. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, what do you message? So For me, and Bob asked me this on the recognition event, for me, this is about building relationships. You know, everybody is struggling. Well, you know, a lot of people are struggling at this moment in time with what's happening. People are losing their jobs. You know, people are losing families. People are, you know, it's not a good time. So for me personally, I don't feel it's right to go straight in with the business asking people, you know, do you want to make an additional income from home, or, you know, do you want to come and take a look at what I'm doing? I like to ask how they are. So primarily since March, since all this has happened, I've been saying, you know, hi Marie, how are you? How's everything going with you and your family? I hope you're safe and well. It opens up a conversation for you to start having with those people. They're going to come back to you and they're going to say, oh, hi Bettina, you know, things have been tough, blah, 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 whatever it may be. How are you? So then I will come back and say, I'm good, thank you. Not going to lie, you know, homeschooling's been tricky, but I'm very grateful that my business, you know, has been going from strength to strength. And at this time, I've been helping lots of people with their immune system at this time, as well as helping people earn an additional income from home. Now, 3 things will happen there. They might come back and say to me, oh, that's nice, you know, and sort of cut it dead. Some might come back and say, oh, wow, you know, what is it that you do? And then I'll tell them what it is I do. Or they, you know, they might just ignore you. That will happen. You know, it's not everybody's going to ask you those questions, but that is how I build my relationship with people. So I message 10 people a day. But the key here is you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're going to see a dip in your business, up and down, up and down. And I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to be consistent in your business. You could maybe message 20, 30, 40 people and you could get nothing, absolutely nothing. But you could message 5, 10 people and then suddenly get somebody that's interested. But if you stopped at that 20th person and thought, right, that's it now. You know, I'm going to have a couple of days off. Nobody's messaged. No, you know, nobody's interacting. Nobody wants a one-to-one, and stop. It's almost like you've got to start that wheel up again and start getting the momentum again. And I emphasize this a lot with my team as well. You have to keep messaging. That is the one thing out of all the activity that I will do consistently, come what may. And obviously I've had the boys at home, so my diary is very it's very planned out for the week. So I will have, you know, the morning I will do some things with the boys. I've been doing power hours with my team during lockdown, which I normally do, you know, before lockdown anyway. So, you know, we can all work together, an hour of concentrated activity. I will then do some work in the evening, but I plan out my day, my week, so I know when I'm going to message people, when I'm going to follow up. If somebody doesn't, and what I find is, just going off track a little bit, what I find is people always say to me, I've had 15 messages back. I've got to message them. You don't need to respond to that person straight away. And I actually don't open my messages until I know that I can respond. Otherwise, I'll read the message and I'll forget. So set times in your diary where you want to message people. 10 messages, if you know who you're going to message, will probably take you, 20 minutes at the most. 20 minutes out of your day to do 10 messages, to get that momentum going, to get that wheel in motion, to get people on your trackers and to get people looking at the business. So I do follow-up. So obviously my follow-ups as well, I would say most of the team have joined on follow-ups, especially during lockdown. I'm going to show some statistics with you at the end of how many I've sponsored and everything since March. Follow-up is key. If somebody says to you, oh, I'm not interested at the moment, the timing's not right, get them on that activity tracker. Get them on that activity tracker and make sure that you follow up with those people, because the amount of people that have joined since March that have said to me no many times before, I've had people that say no, 3, 4, 5 times. It doesn't matter. Follow up, I cannot emphasize, is key. And it's so important to keep them on your activity tracker. So the activity trackers, as soon as somebody says they're interested in the business, I put them on that activity tracker. And I know that if I fill up one of those activity trackers, so I know my stats, and I hope you all know yours. If you, I know that if I fill out one of those activity trackers, at least one person will join my business. So I know, you know, if I would say to myself, I want to recruit, I don't know, 5 people this month, I know that I have to fill up those activity trackers to get, you know, at least five activity trackers to get 5 people to join the business. Referrals are a big thing as well, that I use. You know, if people say to me, you know, I'm you know, it's not for me, I go back and say, okay, thank you for letting me know, you know, do you know anyone that would be interested? And I do that with the products as well. Don't be scared to ask for referrals, because they'll actually start thinking, you know, actually, oh, you know, my friend Marie, she, you know, she might be interested. And again, it's expanding your who do you know list. My retail activity, I'm a big thing on my retail. You know, I believe that you have to have a strong retail business and a strong recruitment as well. Business comes in 2 halves. You know, you can't be really good at retail and not good at sponsoring. You have to be good at both to build a strong retail, to build a strong business. So I have a customer group, a private customer group, which I have just for my customers. All my team have their own separate ones. You know, we post on there once a day which product we like, you know, showing us the product that we're using. And I get a lot of response on that. So my retail is pretty, you know, is pretty high. I at least do 10 case credits a month on retail minimum. Don't be scared, and I know there's a lot of people that are scared of this. Don't be scared to ask your customers and offer them the 35% discount, and, you know, to join the business. I know that there are people out there that get scared and, you know, they don't offer their customers that. But, you know, if you've got a customer that's been using the gels and using the products for, you know, 6-7 months, and they're coming to you month in, month out, and they're loving the products, they are the perfect business owner. Perfect. You know, I joined through the products. I would probably say 80% of my team have joined through the products. They were my customers. So don't be scared, because if they love the products, they're going to automatically want to go and recommend them to their friends, their family. You know, and if you can show them, you know, recommend that gel that you've been drinking for a couple of months, and you could potentially get your gel for free. They sort of think, wow, gosh, is that all I've got to do? Just recommend something that I actually love, you know, when we're doing it all the time. So I've touched on the activity trackers, and track absolutely everything, because they, you know, you'd hate it if you know, somebody was interested and you didn't track them, and then, you know, you forgot about them, and then obviously they went and joined somebody else, or, you know, they joined another company. Because during this time, you've probably seen it all on social media, all on Facebook, you know, join this company, join that company, you know, people getting spammed left, right and centre, invited to groups. That's one thing I can't stand, is being invited to groups where I haven't actually been invited, and people aren't even telling me what it is. You know, join my business, join this. There's nothing worse. It's all about building relationships. So regarding social media then, and everybody knows that I love to share my lifestyle on social media, on Facebook. So if you actually look through my Facebook now, if you went and had a look now, you would not know that I do Forever Living. And it's not that I don't want people to know. I want to create curiosity. I want people to think, gosh, you know, what is it that Bettina does? What is it that allows her to spend lots of time with her children, go away at weekends, have nights out with her boys, have this, have that? I want people to come to me and ask me and say, what is it that she does? So share your lifestyle. You know, I don't put posts on every single day. But for example, we went clamping on the weekend, which was a lovely experience. I can honestly say two nights was enough for me, but it was brilliant, you know. And I shared that on my Facebook. You know, I share if we go you know, to the park or go for an ice cream or something like that. But just share your lifestyle, because, you know, you might think to yourself, oh gosh, why would I want to share like my kids having an ice cream or something like that, when actually, how many people do you know that are perhaps stuck in an office that can't do those simple things and take their children to a soft play, or to have an ice cream, or take them to the park? So just think outside of the box a little bit and start sharing your lifestyle more, you know, if you're not doing so already. So this is a really good tip that I always use. So follow up with those that have commented. So what I mean by that is when I put something on my Facebook, whether it be, the clamping at the weekend or, going for an ice cream, if anybody has liked or commented on that post, that is a green light for me to go and message them privately. Now, I'm not going to start, I'm not going to go and message them and say, oh, hi, Marie, how are you? I've got a really good business opportunity for you. I'm not at all. I'm just going to message them and say, hi, Marie, how are you? How's everything going? What have you been up to? Hope you had a nice weekend, to get that conversation started. They're engaging on my Facebook posts, so they're obviously interested. They're looking at what I'm doing. So why not, reply and answer back and start a conversation, offline. Another thing that I do, obviously, normally, as I said, I like contact marketing. I've just started doing that again now. When I'm out and about, I contact marketed a lady in boots the other day. We're now friends on Instagram. She's looking at the business. I love that sort of thing. I love going out talking to people, but obviously we haven't been able to. So there's other things that you can do. Add new friends or suggested friends on your Facebook. Now, I'm not suggesting that you get off this webinar and go and get your phone and go on to suggested friends and then start adding loads and loads of different people. What I do is I'm part of a few groups, sort of like Hidden Sussex and, when we've been going out walking and things like that. And I actually put a post up about us going to certain places around Sussex. And one post, just an example, I had 250 comments and likes, and I was like, wow, God, this is a lot of interaction here. So what I did is I go through who has commented and liked it and seen if we have any mutual friends. So I'm not going to go and message random people that I have no connection with. And I probably had about 30 people on this one post that we all had mutual friends. So I added them as a friend, but I didn't just add them and leave it. I added them as a friend, and then I sent them a message and said, hi, Sophie, how are you? Thanks for liking my post, commenting on my post on Hidden Sussex. How are you? And, she said they've been as well. And I said, oh, fantastic. You've been there as well. Can you recommend anywhere else that you would recommend? I've noticed that we have mutual friends. I used to fly with so-and-so and so-and-so. So again, it's building those relationships and expanding my who do you know list. So I probably try and do that with about 5 people a day. Now, not every 5 person is not all 5 people are going to accept my friend request and, start a conversation. But, on average, I'd probably say 2, 3 or 4. And it's, again, building my who do you know list, building my my relationships with people and building my contacts. So they're the key things that I say, that I would say that I've been doing in lockdown. I'm going to share my stats in a minute with you all. But I just cannot emphasize, just to do an overview, your 7-day plan. Don't be scared to contact people. Don't be scared to message people. It's this simple cycle that we have to follow. And our business is not difficult. It's so easy. And if you get into that routine, get into that momentum and start messaging people and start building relationships, start talking to people, start asking how they're feeling, how are they, and building that relationship, I promise you, your network and your recruitment will grow. So so I'm not the biggest recruiter, and I know that there's a lot of people, in the business that are, that have been smashing it recently with their recruitment, and that's fantastic. And I'm not the biggest recruiter at all, but I am a consistent recruiter. And before lockdown, since I've started, I would always say that I have probably recruited 2 to 3 minimum. On the odd occasion, I might have done 4, and then, on a very odd occasion, done 5. Which would have been, fantastic. But I've constantly always recruited every month. And the reason for doing that is because I always do my messages, and there's no secret to it. You just have to be consistent. And don't get me wrong, you know, you sometimes think to yourself, gosh, you know, I've sent out all these messages, no one's come back to me, no one's, you know, responding. You know, what is it I'm doing wrong? And it takes time, you know, it takes time to get that momentum going. I cannot emphasize it enough. So March, obviously, in the start of lockdown, I sponsored 2 assistant supervisors. April, I sponsored 5. May, I sponsored 5. June, I sponsored 6. July, I sponsored 7. And August, I've sponsored 3 so far. So I've sponsored a total of 28 assistant supervisors since March, which has generated me 177.673 case credits of new business. 3 of those have just gone through, 3 of those which have gone through to be supervisors. That is a lot of case credits, and I actually hadn't worked this. You know, I'm people that know me, you know, I'm very focused. You know, when I've got a goal, I get my head down and I just crack on and I get on with it. And when Sam asked me to do this, I thought, right, I'm going to just have a look at my stats a minute and just have a look about how many that I've actually sponsored. You know, 177 case credits, and it's actually gone up now. I think it's over 180. You know, just in 6 months is a lot of case credits. It's a lot of new business. You know, for Eagle Manager, you need 150 new case credits. You know, so I've done that already, but I've done that before anyway. But you know, that's my new business. That's a lot of case credits, and that's a lot of momentum into my business. So just to close, really, you know, cannot emphasize, you know, success is a sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. You know, and if you have your 7-day plan, you know who you're going to message, you're organized, you keep doing you keep showing up, you keep doing it. I promise you, you cannot go wrong in this business, and your recruitment will just go through the roof. I hope that's helped. I'm going to stop sharing in a second, and I'm going to answer if there are any questions. Let's just have a look. Let me check. Q&A, that's the one. Okay, so when people ask what you do, how do you cover that? How much do you tell them in a message? So all I say to them is, I have my own business in health and wellness. I have a group. Would you like me to invite you to have a look? So me and my team, we have a prospecting group that I add people to, which has got all our team in there. So that's what I do. I try and get them on the phone, obviously, but on that prospecting group, they will have all the information there. When you message people, how do you approach messaging people you haven't seen or heard from 15 to 20 or so years? Yeah, so I've covered that. I just say, you know, hi, how are you, Mary? Haven't heard, you know, we haven't spoken in a long time. I hope with everything that's been going on, how are you? Hope your family is safe and well. So the people that you message who have commented on your post, are they part of your 10 messages a day? No, Andrea. So I do my 10 because I have them. This is my notes from today. I have my 10 on my 7-day plan. So anything else is a bonus. So I probably message about 20, 25 people a day, or build that conversation. How long do I leave it? So they normally come on a 3-month cycle. So I normally have a 3-month cycle where then I message them again. And, you know, I show my team this, and they say to me, gosh, wow, you know, I can't believe, you know, you've still messaged these people and they've ignored you. A prime example, I've got a Hungarian lady that I'm speaking to at the moment. I met her when I did my fitness competition, which was in 2018. And we became friends there. She knew I had my own business in health and wellness. She worked at Tesco's. And we were meant to meet. And then for some reason it didn't happen, but I still kept in contact. I messaged her 3, 4, 5 times, and I show my team, they go to me sometimes, gosh, you know, you've got real, I don't know if I can say, you know, you've got real sort of determination. and you know, she's read the message, not replied. And then I messaged her last week because she was on my M's that I had to message, and I messaged her and she said to me, I've been meaning to message you back, actually. I can't carry on like this at Tesco's. I need something more. So she's currently in Hungary at the moment, and we are meeting next week about the business. She's on my group. She's seen the business presentation. She knows all about it. So I'm sure she will join. So again, you know, it might not be the right time for somebody, and they might have ignored you. But it doesn't matter. I keep putting them around that cycle. Also, if they don't, if they're not interested in the business, once they've, I've shown them the opportunity, I always offer them products, and that sometimes they either become a customer or they do eventually join it as well. Can I put the last slide up again? I'll try, yeah. I always try and get them on the phone for a one-to-one. I get them in my prospecting group, and then I get them on a BP. So I do my own BPs. Wait a minute. Sorry, they're all coming through now. Yeah, what do they do? If you keep ignoring your messages, I just keep messaging them every 3 months. I've answered that, Bevan, really. When do I mention the business opportunity? Because they're going to ask me how I am. So I tell them, oh, hang on a minute. When you're in your relationship, when's the right time to mention the business opportunity? So I will say, you know, hi, how are you? How's everything going during these unprecedented times? How's your family? Hope you're all safe and well. And they will come back and ask me how I will, and then I will tell them then. Prospecting group is my own Pamela that I have for me and my team. If they're a maybe, I message them every few days. What do you think is a good idea to put products, what I use to my Facebook page? Hi, Bettina, thank you for today. What's the message you tend to message for follow-ups, especially those that have said not right now? I go, no problem at all. Let me know when is a good time. I just say, no problem. Would you like to try some products? Give them some products to try. And again, I put them in my cycle, and I keep, you know, commenting on their Facebooks and keep messaging them and that sort of thing. I think that's it now. Okay, I think that's all the questions. I hope that's helped. And, you know, let me know how you all get on with your recruitment and everything. Wish you all the best. Have a fantastic weekend. And I hope to see, oh, hang on, I think Yvonne wanted to see the slide. The slides will be up, Yvonne, or you can message me and I'll send you the slide. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to all see you very soon at a Success Day event like the old days. Take care. Thank you. Bye.